How are y'all doing? I'm Patrick with K's Honeybees, and today this video is about assembling frames. Assembling frames doesn't have to be that difficult, but if you have a 10 frame jig like I have right here, it makes it a whole lot faster. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, if you will, please. Thank you. As I was saying, a 10 frame jig makes it very fast and efficient. You can get your frames, you either buy them in singles, 10 packs, or 100 boxes of 100. I buy mine in 100, so it's a lot of frames to go through. I'm trying to just replenish some stock that I'm going to go through this spring and summer. One thing that's great about this frame jig is you can do your deeps with it, you can do your honey supers with it, so you only just need one jig for either size frames that you use, and those are the only two size frames that I currently use. Now, some of the tools you'll need is just this jig. You'll need, of course, your frames, and use a little Tot Bond 3 wood glue on there because it really makes it real strong frames. If you don't have the glue, don't bother, because if using a pneumatic stapler like what I'm using, this is an 18 gauge narrow crown 7/32. It's a 1 3/8 staple, and what you'll end up doing, this is a factory frame, but you'll end up in each corner. You'll put one on the top bar and one in the bottom bar, so you'll have one in each corner. I don't know why from factory they put another one under the ear, but I don't really see that necessary in this case. But anyway, that's how I do it. It's just 4 staples and 1 frame, and I'm using right cell, just like what this is here. You can get it natural or black color, and so that means that my frames are grooved on the top bar and they're grooved on the bottom bar. So whenever you make it, you'll have a completed frame, and then you could just pop in that right cell in there. Now, if you're using wax foundation, or you're using with the wax foundation with the hooks in it, you would just use the wedge on the top and you take that piece out, but I don't use those as often. But this jig will work with both styles of frames. So besides that, need a little rubber mallet, kind of tap them on the top, and of course need a pneumatic stapler. So this is my Boss Stitch pneumatic stapler that works pretty good for me. So when you get your when you're getting ready to do this, I recommend to count out your 10 top bars, 10 bottom bars, and then I have 20 side bars. And so that way they're all counted out and you can do it pretty fast. Now, since I have them counted out, and I'm gonna time it to show y'all how fast it is to do it this way versus doing a single. So just follow along and we'll put some frames together. All right, I'm back, and we're gonna assemble the frames using the jig. First and foremost, since we're running a air nailer, ear protection, eye protection. So do this first, and then I'm gonna set a timer. Want to set this timer, we're going to see how long it takes us. So get 10 end bars, get our glue, a little bit goes a long way. fit pretty tight in here. Okay, get your mallet a little bit. And just go right across the top. Upside down. Put a little glue on the ends. You ain't gotta put much glue in there. And just right in the middle. Back around. Flipped it this way so it won't fall out. So pretty much just pull your slats out. And you just did 10, but 5 minutes and 19 seconds is what it is. So anyway, 5:19. So not much time at all. And you've done your 10 frames. out is if you get a little sloppy, you can clean some of that glue out. Just wipe it down a little bit, but it's a pretty strong frame. Okay, now we did the 10 frame jig. Now I'm gonna do one single frame. We'll time building it, doing the same way but without the jig. So, started our timer. We stopped it. 1:07 just to do one frame. So it's cutting it basically in half. But also this frame might not be as square as the other ones, because you have something kind of somewhat supporting it in here, but you could check it. But either way, you're still building a good frame. It's going to take you longer to do it by itself. We'll time and see how long it takes to put the actual foundation in here next. Okay, now I'll time how long it takes to just pop this right cell foundation into those frames we just made. So anyway, I'm just gonna start my timer and we'll pop it in there. Just put it at the bottom, bend it enough to where it fits in that groove. That fast, less than 10 seconds. It's in there. So pretty quick. Pretty simple, unless you want the little there's communication tabs in the corner. If you want to cut them out, you can. If not, just do it like that. These are wax coated, real simple. They come in natural or they come in black color, but I really like them. Wax moths can't eat this plastic off here, and this is what I use in my brood boxes and in my honey supers. And whenever you use when you're using your honey supers, this won't fly off when it's in an extractor. But anyway, we will let's time it again. So start again. Done. 7 seconds. Pretty quick. So that's how I make my frames, and I'll show you in a second here of how the honey supers, which are mediums, how they'll fit in that jig also. So that jig did brood frames and it did your honey supers. So I'll show you that in a second. Okay, in this part of the video, I'm going to show you how your honey supers will fit in this same jig that we just did those brood frames in. But I'm not going to time it. I'm just going to show you that it'll work in the same jig. think it's easier on the table to glue them. Doesn't take a lot, I just put too much glue. Uh-oh. Flip this jig this way so they won't fall out. And it's a whole lot shorter on the edges there, but they're tall enough to do this. Show you how close that is. That's how close the bottom bars are. Oh. When you flip this jig, flip it with the slats in. But anyway, that's what it looks like from the side view of how you can't use any shorter than this. So you can only use your brood frames and your medium frames in this jig. So if you use shallows, you have to use a different jig or do those by hand. What is that frame for?
The honey and how the bees do it is so they go outside and they get the nectar, and from the nectar they put it into the frames, and then after that they wait until summer, and then until summer they eat it.
Do they? Good job. Well, if you follow along, hopefully I've showed you how to effectively make some frames with this jig. I'll have a link in the description area of where I got the plans for this jig, and you can make one yourself, and it'll make it a whole lot easier for you. If you haven't subscribed, I appreciate if you'd subscribe. Share my videos with others. Like them. Just have a good time out there beekeeping right now. It's springtime. So I'm Patrick for Kay's Honeybees. Thank you.